Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing a 99.9% drugstore back to school makeup look for you guys. Mostly everything is affordable here. Like I said, there's like 2 or 3 items maybe that aren't drugstore, but I wanted to film an all drugstore video because I know back to school is just right around the corner. I know I went back to school like around middle of August, like August 15th I want to say. So I wanted to make a video for those who are going into high school or trying to get into makeup and wanting to wear makeup to school but they don't know where to start. So I mentioned in the video that I didn't start wearing eyeshadow or eyelashes until I attended college, and I studied makeup, so makeup is what I like to do. So I wear a lot of makeup, but if you aren't comfortable with wearing a lot of makeup, you don't have to. Everything is up to you. It's personal preference. If you want to wear concealer, don't wear concealer. If you don't want to wear foundation, don't wear foundation. If you don't want to wear lashes or eyeshadow, then you don't need to do that. There's always different ways that you can play with makeup. Makeup is an art. It's fun, so be creative with it. If you were like me and when you're younger you were shy and not as confident in wearing makeup, then you definitely don't need to. I know when I went to middle school and I did makeup or wore makeup to school, everyone was like, oh my god, she's wearing makeup. Like, it was like the plague, or like talk about it. I mean, it all comes off at the end of the day, so don't be afraid to wear it if you want to. It all comes off, and if it doesn't look right the first time, practice makes perfect. I know I definitely wasn't able to put some lashes on correctly the first time I did, or apply foundation correctly, or I was afraid to wear bronzer because I thought it would look like a tan freak, so and then now you see me in my videos with like dark ass hands. So it is all up to you, and like I said, practice makes perfect. Like I said, it all comes off in the end, so don't be afraid to play around with makeup, try it. So if you want to see how I got this really simple look, then keep on watching. So I already primed my face already. I'm going to tell you what I used. I used the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base, and this is kind of like the Tarte Cosmetics, I forget what it's called, but it's just like a silicone based primer, and it just fills in the pores and everything. So this is basically works the same as the Tarte one, but this is the drugstore version of it. And then I also used, because I do get oily, this is Soap & Glory's One Heck of a Blot Instant Perfecting Power Primer. So this is supposed to help combat my oily skin. So if you're oily, I would highly recommend this because I actually really like it. I didn't think it'd work, but it works pretty well. It's supposed to be good for 12 hours, and this also helps with the shrinking of the pores, you know? An actual plain eyeshadow primer, unfortunately, for my eyes from the drugstore, so I'm going to be using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer to prime my lids, and this is in the color Fair, and this is like one of my favorite concealers from the drugstore. And I'm just gonna blend this out with my beauty blender, and this kind of just cancels out anything like veins on my eyelids and discoloration. So now I'm going to set it, and what I'm going to do, you can use do anything you want, but I'm going to be setting it with my number 7 Translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder. But sometimes, usually the eyeshadows will come with like matte skin tone shades, like this NYX Perfect Filter eyeshadow palette. So like this palette right here has a matte skin tone shade. But I'm going to be using my number 7 No Color Powder, loose powder. So I'm going to be using my Morphe E20. I'm going to take a little bit of that loose powder, and I'm going to tap it off on the lid, and then I'm going to set from my crease up to my brow bone. I'm leaving my lid blank of any loose powder. This is kind of like the Luxie one too, so if the Luxie one, I'm not quite sure if it's sold separately or in a set only, but if you don't want to spend a lot on Luxie because they are quite expensive, I believe so, but I got my my large fluff brush in a set, so I'm not quite sure how much it is sold separately, but Luxie kind of ranges, I want to say, a little bit more expensive than Morphe, so if you want a more affordable route, I definitely try the Morphe E20. So I'm first going to start warming up my eyelid. This is NYX Ultimate Multi-Finish Eyeshadow Palette, which I used in my other tutorial where I was trying new items. This is in the color Warm Rust. Taking my Morphe M511, I'm going to be taking this light brown shade right here, and I'm going to apply that into the crease. I wanted to mention the only thing that I'm not using, I believe that's not drugstore, is my brows, because I don't have anything that's drugstore, unfortunately. But did use the NYX like pomade, eyebrow pomade before, and I really liked that. It's kind of comparable to the Anastasia Dip Brow, so I'd highly recommend trying that, but I don't have that with me. But yeah, so I'm gonna just continue doing that. I just want to do something simple and easy for back to school, whether you're like in middle school or in high school. I know when I was in middle school I was afraid to wear eyeshadow because I was quite young. I think I didn't wear eyeshadow. I didn't wear eyeshadow until I got to college actually, but I know one day I did go to middle school with eyeshadow, and I believe I was in 8th grade, so it really depends. I can do something more minimal for middle schoolers, but this is probably if you're in high school, like freshman to sophomore or something, and you're still experimenting with makeup and you want to wear a little bit of eyeshadow to school. So this is what I'm doing because I know back to school is soon, so I just wanted to put out some videos for back to school season. In high school, and if you're in high school and you want to start wearing eyeshadow, something more dramatic, I can definitely make videos on that as well, but let me comment below and let me know. You just want to like build this up slightly so there's a little bit of definition in your eyes. I see this little, sorry, my voice cracked. There's a little bit of definition, so I'm going to keep building it up to a little bit more just because I like that more definition in my eyes. The next thing I'm going to use, just because these palettes don't have another like a shade darker than the transition shade I was using, this is the NYX Perfect Filter palette, and I'm going to take this brown right here. It's kind of like a mid-tone brown using the same brush. I'm just going to put that on the outer corners to deepen it up a little bit. And if you don't have like that much eyeshadow palettes, you can always use your like bronzer. I have this bronzer right here. This is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, and it works great as a crease color too. I know I used to, or sometimes when I'm in a rush, I just take my bronzer and apply it into my crease because it just gives me a little bit of definition, and then I'm out the door. So it really depends on what you want. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit more definition just for this video. I'm gonna stop right here because I know for those who are just starting to wear makeup, this might be a little bit too dramatic for them and out of their comfort zone, so you can always tone it down. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to take this Morphe M504 and I'm just going to blend it out. And then I was going to apply this Maybelline Color Tattoo Shadow and Bad to the bronze, but I think I might save this for a different video possibly, because I wanted to do a very shimmery eyelid, because I know whenever I decided to wear eyeshadow, I would wear something very shimmery, very neutral. So this is my NYX, I don't know what these are called. Oh, these are the Prismatic shadows, and this is in Rose Dust, and it's a really pretty light pinky rose gold color. So I'm going to take just a flat brush. This is from Beige Cosmetics, and I'm going to apply this. Take it on the brush. And I'm going to spray it with, just to make it a little more intensified, and like I said, you don't have to. This is the Maybelline this is the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus Setting Spray. I'm almost out of this. It's really good for the price. And if you're looking for cheap brushes, I actually got like a whole set of brushes from Beige Cosmetics like a while ago. This is part of one of them. And it was really affordable actually. You got a decent amount of face and eye brushes, and I think they're about $15, maybe less. I'm not quite sure. I got them like a while ago, but I like Beige Cosmetic brushes and I'd highly recommend them if you're starting out. Or e.l.f. brushes, they're $1. I used to buy tons of e.l.f. eyeshadow brushes for $1, and I just use that, and that's how I started my little brush collection that I have now. But you know, you guys have to start somewhere, and the e.l.f. brushes are affordable, and they're really good actually for the price. So I'd highly recommend checking them out. I know they have them at Target now, so go check it out. So I'm just gonna apply this onto my lid. It's really pretty. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a smaller brush. Take this Lexi 229 tapered blending, and I'm just going to blend it out. this is basically it. That's like something that I would have done when I was in middle school and like high school, but like I said, I didn't wear any eyeshadow until I got to college. So I mean, I did experiment at home, but I didn't actually like, wear it out because I was like really self-cautious. I was like, oh my gosh, like people are staring at me, don't look at me. So I didn't. I wore eyeliner, but I don't even wear eyeliner anymore. It's basically the look. So easy and just so quick, you know, because I know in the morning you want to sleep in, because that was me too. So yeah, this is basically it. If you want to deepen this up, you definitely could. I'm just going to tightline now. This is my NYX Treasury Gel Pencil Liner in brown. You can always wear black, but brown is more like natural and not as harsh. I'm going to tightline and also apply this in the lower lash line, but you don't have to if you don't feel comfortable doing that. I haven't used this in such a long time, so it's so hard to like warm it up. And now I am just going to apply my face makeup. So I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk. This is a Chic Luminosity highlighter stick in Sparkling Sands 45. You can get Sonia Kashuk at Target. So I'm going to take this because I want a more glowy look. I'm just going to apply this on the high tops of my cheeks, high tops of my face, there. What are we doing? And now I'm just going to blend out with my beauty blender. I don't have something more affordable on hand, but the Equal Tools one I heard is really good. Real Techniques, that one's really good. I like that one for a cheaper alternative. And I know the L'Oreal one, the green one I believe, works really well as well. I haven't tried it myself, but that's what I've heard. And I know I wore foundation in middle school. Like I wore face makeup. I didn't wear bronzer because I was kind of scared of bronzer when I was younger. But I wore this Maybelline foundation in the squeezy tube. I don't believe they have that anymore. I don't think they do. And they had a loose powder version of that as well. So I paired that together. But if you have really nice skin, you don't need to wear foundation. If you have a little bit of darkness, just wear concealer and you're good to go. Maybe some loose powder. But if you don't need the foundation, don't wear it. You have nice skin already. I'm just gonna use some foundation since my skin is a little like discoloration and everything. I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Matte and Poreless foundation, Fit Me foundation, because I'm oily. I do really like their cushion foundation. That's really nice as well. If you want something with less coverage, I'd highly recommend like BB creams or tinted moisturizers. You can always mix your foundation with a moisturizer as well. The M224, and I'm just going to apply this with that so I don't get it all over my hands. Like I said, if you have really nice skin, you obviously don't need to wear foundation. I would probably just conceal. I know I loved concealer when I was younger. I mean, I still do concealer. It's like one of the most important parts of my face routine. Just covers all of my dark circleness. I have a lot of dark circles. I've always struggled with dark circles, so I like to cover that. You want to always blend it into the ear if you are wearing foundation, so everything looks like it's your shade. You know, you want your face to be one color, and then you can bronze it up to give it definition. I know I use concealer as eye primer, so if you don't have eye primer, you can always use concealer to prime your eyes. Just make sure you set it so that it stays a while and your eyeshadow doesn't crease. As for concealer, I'm going to conceal. This is my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle. This one is in light. This is a new one, and when I wore makeup and face makeup in middle school, this is actually all I wore. I only got like kind of like a highlighting concealer. So let me just try to open this. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit. And obviously, if you have imperfections like acne that you want to cover up, I'd just recommend something light. I really like the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. Yeah, I'd highly recommend that. Or you can get this, because this concealer specifically doesn't go up to a really dark shade, so it's really hard for those who are darker, tan. It's just harder to use this concealer if you're darker. These are, I wouldn't say geared towards light skin tones, but I just want them to come out with more colors with this concealer because this concealer is really great, and I know a lot of people like it. It's really lightweight, really blendable. So Maybelline, if you watch this video, if you ever do, make some more shades in this Instant Age Rewind, please. So Maybelline Fit Me is a really good concealer. It's really lightweight and it blends in really easily as well. So I'd highly recommend that. And I think that's about it. I have these NYX ones. These are kind of more thicker and full coverage, but you can get away with using very little. I used to blend out my concealer with my ring finger before I started using beauty blenders, so just do what works for you. Just highlighting, having a lighter concealer just really brightens up, because I know you stay up late doing your homework or just on the computer, so you want your face to look bright and awake and not tired. I'm going to set it bake with my number 7 translucent powder. And when I was younger, it sounds like I'm really old, but when I was younger, I didn't bake. I didn't know about baking, so I never did it. I just set my under eyes with a banana powder, with a yellow colored powder. So I'm just gonna set it first, because I want this to last. If you're dry, I wouldn't really recommend baking, because it's just gonna like emphasize the dryness, but I'm oily, so I'm just gonna do this to set my forehead around my mouth. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a little bit. And then as for powder, I'm gonna set lightly on my face. This is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me powder. I'm going to take my Luxie Large Powder 518. I'm gonna set my face. You want to just pat it. You can twirl anything, but make sure you don't move anything. It's really light. This Fit Me powder is really lightweight. And then I'm just gonna blend this off. Taking my Morphe E48, I'm going to dust it off. Here's some bronzer. This is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and this is my Dose of Colors Large Powder Brush. It's a kind of tulip-shaped brush. I'm just going to blend it, apply it to the hollows of my cheeks and blend. I usually just kind of focus it onto this region. I was really scared to apply bronzer when I was younger because I didn't want to look too dark and crazy and like just weird. Like I remember one time I applied something onto my face and I went to school and my friends were like, why do you look like that? And I went to the bathroom and this Neutrogena moisturizer made my face look so oily. I got so self-cautious, I wiped the whole thing off. It just made my whole face look weird, so it scarred me to not use bronzer because I didn't want to look crazy. So everything you do, just apply very little amount and then you can build up, because if you apply too much at once, it's going to be really hard to blend everything out. So just start with a little bit. I always like practice at home on the weekend just to make sure it looks okay. I always like to blend it into my ear and then down my jawline. And then obviously forehead. And that just gave me like a little bit of color on my face, so. This contour as well. This is my NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. I didn't know anything about contouring when I was younger. I'd never even heard the words, so I never contoured. And I just avoided bronzer. I probably was like a one-dimensional face because I just wore blush. I just wore foundation, blush, and then I did wear highlighter actually. So there's this e.l.f. like bronzer. It was like part of their studio collection, and there's this really light, pretty champagne color, and I wore it as highlighter, and I was so in love with it, and I can't find it anymore, but it was really nice. So that's when I like first got introduced to highlighter, I guess. But now, since like all these companies are coming out with highlighters, there's a lot more that you can choose from. So I'm not going to contour my face. I think the bronzer is okay. Apply some mascara. This is the Maybelline Maybelline the Colossal Big Shot Mascara. So I did apply lashes off camera, and these lashes are also not drugstore. These are the KoKo lashes in Goddess. So I wore these, but the Ardell Wispies and Ardell Demi Wispies are amazing for every day. I did not wear lashes up until college as well. Also, Kiss lashes are really great as well. Kiss Lashes Posh were my favorite for like during my first year of college, so I definitely recommend checking those out if you aren't blessed with lashes. I am not blessed with lashes, unfortunately, but for those who are, wear mascara, curl them, you'll be fine, they'll look great. I'm just going to kind of deepen up my lower lashes just because I want it to have a little bit of definition. So I'm going to go back with my Warm Rust palette. I'm going to take the deep brown right here. It's like a bark brown. Going in with the Morphe E36 pencil brush, taking very little because I don't want it to be so dramatic. These NYX shadows are very pigmented, so be careful. I'm going to connect it as well. I want something very light but defining because I don't have any lashes on my lower lash line. So this is it, and then I'm going to apply some blush. The blush I'm going to be applying today is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in Buff. It's one of their new Fit Me blushes. It looks like my Morphe E8. This is just a very neutral blush. I did have my brows done, but I'm going to set them. I didn't do my brows up until high school, like freshman year, so it's just my natural brows. But I highly recommend using the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer Mascara for your brows. If you don't want to fill your brows in, or if you have full brows already, get this or get the one, just the Maybelline Brow Gel. There should be another one as well. These ones have fiber in it, so it makes your eyebrow hairs look longer. If you suffer from very sparse eyebrow hairs or none at all, and you don't want to fill them in because you're too scared, just use this. It's really great. I just like to lift them up just to make them look longer. They probably look crazy right now because I do need to get them done a little bit. Are wearing false lashes, something not as dramatic possibly. You want to kind of curl them together. Use an eyelash curler, but I do have this eyelash applicator that pushes them together. Make them look like more natural-ish to blend in your natural and your fake lashes together. And now I'm going to apply some mascara. This is my L'Oreal Telescopic Shocking Extensions, and I use this for my lower lash line just because it's very tiny and I have really little lower lashes. I know NYX has a mascara that's specifically for your lower lashes if you want a cheaper, like, not Maybelline, NYX, sorry. Also, if you want a curl to hold, I'd recommend using waterproof lashes. It's harder to take off, which I know some people struggle with that, but I usually don't struggle with my mascara having a hard time to flake coming off even with wearing waterproof mascara, so it really just depends. Always liked wearing waterproof mascara because it held my curls. When I would curl my lashes, when I had lashes, it would actually stay up with the curl, but I wear falsies now, so it doesn't really bother me. So with being at school all day, and if you have PE, your makeup is going to sweat. You are going to sweat, so you want to set everything and make sure it stays in place. This is my favorite drugstore setting spray. This is the Wet n Wild's PhotoFocus setting spray, and it's so affordable, but it does come with a itty bitty bottle. Unfortunately, I like to spray a lot because you don't want that powdery look or feel as well. I know we didn't use a lot of face products, but you just want this to look as natural as possible. Highlighters I'm going to apply today is from the NYX Strobe of Genius Illuminator palette. Love this. NYX is one of my favorite drugstore brands, which is why you see a lot of NYX, and also Maybelline because I love Maybelline as well. To highlight my face, I'm going to highlight my inner corners. I'm going to take the base palette. I'm going to take this one right here. I'm going to mix these two highlighters, but I'm going to take this one for my eyes. And this is my Luxie 231, of course. And the reason why I sprayed my face before I applied highlighter was just because this is going to go on more dramatic and more seamless. It's like more smooth and not gritty if you want to apply a lot, you know? I'm just going to use this to also apply the tip of my nose. The brush I'm using to apply highlighter is my Anastasia A23. Guys, amazing. Do you see how... Wow. I'm going to apply a little bit on my brows. I know I get oily, but for those who don't, you can always apply some on your brow bone. On top of the brows. I just want to blend it. I'm going to take a bigger brush. This is my Morphe E2. It's a kind of denser, more packed. I'm going to use this to blend. Little circular motions. I just want to blend everything together. Wow, guys, this... I put my hair down, but don't mind it. It's kind of like floofy, so we're going to move on to the lips. I'm going to apply lip liner. This is NYX Soft Brown Lip Pencil. Okay, so I lined it just a little bit. And then for lipsticks, whenever I wore something like lip products, I'd wear something nude, just like I am today. I just don't like wearing it too dark of a lipstick. When I do wear dark lipsticks, I think when I first started wearing like darker lips was when I was a junior or senior in high school. When I started like branching out, like, fall, let me wear a dark lip. MAC Rebel was my favorite. So I'm gonna do Maybelline Intimate Matte Lipsticks. This is their Lip Sensational lipsticks, I believe. This is 545 Beige Babe. I feel like it's a perfect mixture of like a nude and the pink and like a little bit of brown. Beautiful. And if you think this is too pink, you can always line it up. This is 530 Hot Sand. I'm just going to put a little bit on top. A color, it really depends on your skin tone and your personal preference, whether you like nude lips or more pinky. I personally like pinky nudes, brown nudes, mauves. Anything. I just love it all now. You can always set your face once more if you want to, just to make everything stay, but you definitely don't need to. This is the end of my all drugstore tutorial. I know there's a couple items like my lashes and my brows that I didn't use drugstore, but don't mind that because I did mention some comparisons that you can use for drugstore use. I know when I was younger I didn't have a lot of money to spend on makeup because it just wasn't a necessity. My parents just didn't think it was a necessity. My parents didn't think it was a necessity, and it definitely isn't. You don't need to wear makeup if you don't want to. Obviously, I love playing with makeup. I studied makeup, so makeup is part of my life, and I got into cosmetics from YouTube, from watching beauty tutorials with people my age that were making videos. So it's really nostalgic to just think about it because I was really scared to wear makeup when I was younger, but you know, if you want to wear it, then definitely experiment with it. Don't let anyone bring you down if you want to wear makeup. It's all up to you. So if you enjoy this tutorial, if you want something similar to this, I do want to do a couple more videos for back to school just because I was younger. I had a hard time finding videos of makeup that I wanted to wear, and I know many of you are, some schools aren't allowed to. For the schools that I went to, I was allowed to wear makeup, so it wasn't like that much of a deal for my school, like they didn't really care. Let me know down below if you want to see more back to school tutorials. I definitely will film some more. Those who are more into makeup and want to wear something a little bit more dramatic, I'll definitely make a video on that as well. Yeah. Let me know if you enjoy these all drugstore tutorials because I think they're really fun. Drugstore makeup is really good as well. You don't need to spend an arm and a leg to buy makeup that works well because drugstore is just as good these days. They're like getting up to high-end brands, so definitely give drugstore a try. I started out with drugstore makeup, so I mean everyone has to start somewhere, right? So if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.